is so precious, man. And you gotta cherish every single moment, every single minute, every single second, because you really never know when it could all end. And that's why I'm so mad, I'm so pissed off that I just wasted 90 minutes of my precious life. I only get one of these, and I wasted 90 minutes of it watching Leganes try and play football. That was so painful to watch, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Barca get the win. 1-0 away from home, 3 points in the bag, and extending their unbeaten streak in 2025. Still haven't lost in this calendar year. So you know what? It's good. I'm happy. If Barca would have drawn or lost that game, I would have been pissed. But the fact that they got the win, it's chill. And I've said it multiple times. I'm going to say it again. I've been watching Spanish football for a long time. Watching these big boys, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, play against these mid to low table La Liga teams, it never gets easier and it never will. And it never will get easier. It's such a chore, man. These teams play the most disgusting brand of football you'll ever see. Fouling, playing in a low block, trying to get you on the counter-attack, playing dirty football, complaining about every single call, trying to win penalties. So many times, Alaves players were diving. Did you see that dive that guy had in the first half, where he thought, where Araujo made that tackle? It wasn't even a tackle. Araujo didn't even, he didn't touch the foot, or he didn't touch the player or the ball. Araujo literally didn't touch anything, and the guy just fell. And then they're calling for handballs when it clearly goes off Inigo's body and then it hits his hand. I mean, they're just crying for everything, man. It's so annoying, and the games are so slow. But you know what? Like I said, I'm just glad that it's over. And that first half, man, there was really not much to talk about because not a lot happened. It was some of the worst football I've ever seen in my life from both teams, honestly. Barca did not play great, and Leganes didn't play great either. Like, the things that I can remember in that first half were Lewandowski shot a free kick, and it was terrible. And that made me realize we really need a good free kick taker on this team. Because going from Messi, the best free kick taker of all time, in my opinion, or one of, to whatever the fuck we've had over the past 4 years taking free kicks, it's not good. Like, Ferran scored that one, last year against Betis, and apart from that, it's been, every time we have a free kick, it's basically just a waste of possession because nobody's scoring it. So again, we need a new free kick taker. I don't know who that is. Maybe Lamine Yamal can start learning free kicks. Hopefully he can, because I believe he'd be good at them. But that's one thing that I wanted to point out. We need a new free kick taker. The second thing that I saw, Fermin missed a header. Szczesny made a huge save that saved that obviously helped Barca a lot, because that I was almost certain that was going into the back of the net, but Szczesny made a massive save, and Rafinha had a huge tackle right before the half. Rafinha basically sprinted the length of the pitch and made a tackle right before halftime. Those are the things that come to the top of my mind when I think about that first half, because again, it wasn't really eventful, and up until that point, Barca hadn't had a shot on target. They didn't have a single shot on target in the first half. That is so unlike this Barca team under Hansi Flick, because usually we're seeing this team score 4 or 5 goals or 6 goals every single game. But you know what? It's fine. The second half comes around, and Barca started off the second half playing better, I guess. Araujo came off because I think Araujo was good defensively in that first half, but in possession, as we know, he's not the best, and he wasn't really helping break down that low block that Leganes were playing. So he came off, and Frankie de Jong came on. Eddie Garcia moved back to center back, and I think Frankie and the team really helped, the build up a lot and actually trying to break the team down a lot, because obviously his ball carrying and just his the type of player that he is. I thought he was doing a good job today. I think Frankie de Jong played well today. But yeah, in the first, like I said, Araujo comes on, Frankie de Jong comes on to start the second half, and then the goal came a couple minutes into the second half. It was an own goal. Gerard Martin, who also came on in the first half for Balde, which I hope Balde's okay. I would rest him against Dortmund, but whatever. Balde comes off. Gerard Martin comes on. I forgot to mention that. But then, yeah, he loses the ball. Then he wins it back with a tackle. And then Rafinha gets the ball on the left-hand side. Sends in a really nice cross. And then Lewandowski was going to get to the end of that cross. He was like, obviously the cross was intended for Lewandowski, but then the Leganes player, Jorge Sanz, tries to intercept it and ends up going into the back of the net. And that was the only goal of the game. And up until that point, Barca hadn't had a shot on target. Barca scored a goal, or Leganes scored a goal for Barca, and Barca hadn't had a shot on target. But that's the beauty of this Hansi Flick team, okay? They can beat you 5-2, they can beat you 7-0, they can beat you 4-0, and they can beat you playing this shitty, playing terribly. They can beat you with an own goal. They can beat you in so many different ways. That's the positive I'm taking from this game. Call me crazy, but that's the positive I'm taking from this game. This Barca team shows they can win in every single way. It's like a boxer. They can they can beat you with a jab. They can beat you with power. They can beat you with footwork. They can beat you anyway. And yeah, man, like Leganes scored that goal for Barca, and then the game kind of opened up a little bit more, but it wasn't really that open still. Leganes had a couple chances that, obviously Szczesny made a couple saves. They had one where it just went wide of the post in the 70th something minute. That was a close chance. Barca, Lamine had a chance where he could have scored, but he shot it right at the keeper. Ferran Torres came on. He had a chance as well where he shot it right at the keeper as well. It was just, these, it wasn't the huge chances. Fermin Lopez actually had a chance where he looked like prime Messi, bro. He had the ball in the box. He weaved in and out of 4 players, and then he shot it and just went wide. So he had that moment, but apart from that, it was really just, it was Barca trying to survive. It was Barca trying to survive in the latter stages of that game. And you know what? They did it, man. As you guys know, I call Hansi Flick the Flickinator, and that's based off the movie that came out back in 1984 with Arnold called The Terminator. And the reason why I call Hansi Flick the Flickinator is because, like the Terminator, he has this aura of invincibility, and also he's like, he destroys everything in his path. That's why I call him that, because Hansi Flick destroys everything in his path, and he almost seems invincible standing on the touchline. But the Terminator, like any great superhero, if you want to call it, has a nemesis or a kryptonite. Like Superman obviously had kryptonite, and the Terminator had Skynet. Skynet was the Terminator's kryptonite. It was this nemesis in that movie. And Hansi Flick, the Flickinator, his Skynet is these low to mid-table La Liga teams. Because I don't know what it is, but this guy can be dormant 4-0 like he did a couple days ago. He can embarrass Bayern Munich. He can embarrass Real Madrid twice. But against Leganes, well, obviously we saw it earlier in the year. That's Barca eventually lost it because they lost to Leganes back in December. Against Leganes, against La Sociedad, not La Sociedad, they're actually a good team. Against Leganes, against Celta Vigo, against these shitty teams, man. It seems like Hansi Flick doesn't really have a game plan. I don't blame him, honestly. It's not a criticism of Hansi Flick because Pep struggled against them, and so did Luis Enrique, and so did Xavi. I mean, the best manager I ever saw with Barca against these low to mid-table La Liga teams was Ernesto Valverde, but then again, he doesn't have the ceiling of Hansi Flick, so I'm not mad about that. So, Hansi, we still love you, man. Even if you can't put up dominant performances against Leganes and against Alaves, it's fine, man. We still love you no matter what. And yeah, bro, I really don't have much to say. Inigo made a great tackle towards the end of that game. It was just massive from Inigo, who's been so good this season. But yeah, bro, Szczesny, to me, like I said, had a huge save in the first half and it was good overall. Atakunde had a good game. I thought the backline played well overall. Again, Araujo came off, and then Eddie Garcia filled the spot at center back, and I thought he actually had a decent game as well. I hope Balde is going to be okay, but, we'll see, because we cannot afford to lose Balde. If Balde's out, we're fucked. Honestly, we're fucked. He's such an important piece of this team, so we need Balde, but I think he's going to be all right. The midfield, man, Eddie Garcia in the first half in midfield wasn't really doing much, honestly, nothing really notable. And then, obviously, like I said, he moved to center back, and then Frankie de Jong came in, and they played Pedri and Frankie de Jong together. And I thought Pedri didn't have his best game. I didn't think Pedri was really that good. He wasn't that X factor that we've seen over the past, over this whole season. He's been so great this season, but today he didn't really have it. He looked tired. Frankie de Jong, like I said, came in and had a really, really good game. Lamine Yamal had a couple moments here and there, but wasn't really at his best. He was basically getting triple teamed that entire game. Fermin Lopez, I thought, had a really, really good game. Honestly, you could argue he was the man of the match because he was actually trying to create and do stuff, and like I said, missed that chance. His finishing has to get better, bro. If his finishing gets better, he's going to be so lethal, because he also missed some chances against Dortmund. But again, it's the struggles of being a young player, man. You're not going to be perfect at everything or great at everything. So if Fermin can work on his finishing, he's going to be such an amazing player because he's so good, bro. He's so good in tight spaces. He's so good at, on the counter attack, making those runs. I thought he honestly was decent today. I thought he was really, really good. Rafinha was a lot better in the second half than the first half. Like I said, in the first half towards the end, he made a great tackle, and then the second half had the assist for the goal. Basically, he played the pass that led to the own goal, and I thought for the most part he was a lot more involved in that second half. And then Lewandowski shot the free kick. Apart from that, didn't really do much. I think Lewa today wasn't his best game, but you know what? It's fine. He's been great. He's been really, really good over the past couple weeks anyway. But yeah, man, I mean, that's really all I have to say. One thing that I also want to say, though, I really like this new attitude from Frankie de Jong, man. He's fighting Munir. He's like getting mad at people. He's being combative, bro. I like seeing that from the captain, because Frankie de Jong, like I've said multiple times, I always saw him as such a quiet guy. But seeing him now, honestly, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing from him. I think this new personality he has, he's developed. I really, really like it. But yeah, man, that's it. We got Dortmund on Tuesday. That should be really a cakewalk to go through. Barca are going to win that game. Doesn't matter that it's away from home. This was kind of like the more important game in my opinion, because again, La Liga, we have to get that shit wrapped up before we play the second Clásico of the season. Before we play Real Madrid in May, the La Liga has to be wrapped up. We cannot go into that game having it be like, if Madrid beat us, they go ahead of us or they tie us on points. It must be wrapped up by that point. So again, all these games, they don't all have to be pretty, but you got to get the 3 points. And Barca got the 3 points today. We'll see what Madrid do tomorrow against Alaves, another fucking mid to low table La Liga team away from home. Let's see if they struggle like we did today. But you know what? Barca got the win. That's the most important thing. The Flickinator defeats Skynet once again, because this guy, there's nothing he can't do. And yeah, man, that's really all I have to say about this game. Go out today. It's Saturday, man. Go out and enjoy the rest of the day, because those are 90 minutes you're never going to get back, so you might as well go out and do something. Commit a felony. Don't commit a felony, actually. No, please do not commit a felony, because then they're going to blame it on me. Do not commit a felony. Go out and help an elderly woman, help an elderly person cross the road. Go out and volunteer. Go out and, I don't know, get your dick wet, whatever you want to do, but do something productive, because that was honestly such a waste of time that I hated it. But yeah, man, I love every single one of you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you as glad that that's over as me? I'm pretty sure you are. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.